I just saw a story. It was in my, I think, Google news feed, I think. Anyway, it said that smoking cannabis products could lead to a change in your epigenetics. Now, I've been smoking weed every single day, okay, since I was 13 years old. I have tried quitting. I'm still trying to quit. It's not easy for me because it helps me with my post-traumatic stress after I met Satan. So, I've been using it like medication pretty much to ignore the spirit world. My point is that okay, epigenetics is not genetics, okay? Epigenetics is how your body reads your DNA, okay? So, like, for instance, okay, like normal vaccines are simply a lesser dose of harmful disease, right, that they just inoculate you with. But the vaccine that started in 2021, and that's different, okay? It's called mRNA technology, right? So it's a messenger carrying RNA, which is a lesser form of DNA, to plug into your DNA strand, right? So that it tricks your body into producing spike protein, which is the same shape of an infected protein inside one of your cells if you had the common cold, okay? Because that's what the coronavirus is a common cold. We've known that since the 1960s. We've known since then that you can't vaccinate against it because it's a constantly mutating thing. It's a living thing that lives in all humans and it transmits through us all, right? You can't get rid of the common cold. So instead of calling it the common cold, they had to scare everybody and call it the coronavirus, the virus of the crown, right? Now, the weird thing is they're talking about that smoking marijuana could lead to your I don't know if it's your brain or if it's like your body's just, self-running system, right? But whatever it is, it makes you read your DNA differently. That's what they're saying. Like that's completely false, okay? Because for one, if that was true, that smoking marijuana could lead to abnormal changes in your DNA, how your body reads your DNA, well then you would have people who are like half dog, people who have feathers, people who have grown gills. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense for them to say this unless they have something else already messing with your epigenetics. And then they could then say, oh, well, it's because you smoke marijuana. Because, the population of the earth is now way up there that smokes marijuana, right? Like probably 20% at the very least, you know? Like, so they're probably trying to cover up the side effects of the mRNA by saying that it's side effects of marijuana because there's so many new marijuana users, right? And because it's now legal in most countries and you can just go to the corner store and get it, it's very easy to just blame it on that, right? Because you're not allowed to blame anything on the mRNA, right? Like these companies that created it, well, I don't know about created it, but the companies that were selling it to governments and the governments mandating it on their citizens, that was all, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people took that shit. And those companies, they said that they don't have to tell you what's in it for 70 years. You know, obviously that's long enough for everybody who has taken it to die, right? Even if you don't die an early death, more than likely you're gonna die before you reach 70 in this day and age, right? Like there's a ridiculous amount of poisons and everything. You know, like you can't eat food without having it GMO'd, right? Like they GMO'd wheat completely. There's no more wheat on the earth. Okay? None. So every time you eat something that's made out of bread or cracker or whatever, you know what I mean? You're weakening your own DNA every time you eat something that's GMO. But I mean, you already know that. So my point is that the creator of iPet Goat 2 is an epigeneticist. Okay? Like a lot of people don't know that. What he's showing you in iPet Goat 2 is the mRNA creation. Okay? Like just watch it again, and you'll see. Like I mean, if you know that RNA comes from oil, then you'll really know what you're looking at, right? So since we're talking about the mRNA, okay, and marijuana, okay, so I have both constantly in my system, right? So I can tell you what's happened to me since. Okay, so I got the number 2 intravenous in October of 2021. Okay, so we're almost approaching 2 years. The first year was hell. Like every single day I thought I was dying because I literally felt like I was having a heart attack every single day because of, you know, myocarditis or whatever the fuck it's called. The shrinking of the heart chamber, right? So your heart beats too fast, too much, and the chamber it sits in is shrinking. It could lead to problems, right? And it's extremely uncomfortable, especially for someone like me who has always felt uncomfortable with the beating of my heart in my chest, right? Like I've always had that problem, the paranoia from having, like if I lay on my left side too much and I feel my heartbeat beating on the side of the bed through my chest, it freaks me out and I gotta roll over. Like it's always been like that my whole life. So I mean, getting that done and all of a sudden now I have heart problems, like that was scary as shit every single day for about a year. And after that year, that was like the only problem I had, right? And after that slowed down, then all of a sudden my teeth started to decay extremely quickly. I've always had bad teeth, but all my fillings fell out, one after another, including my front, right? That side on, all like yeah, my teeth are really bad now. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so not only that has happened that I've noticed was um, uh, the speed of it was incredibly quick, right? Like I've had tooth decay my whole life. Always had problems with my teeth ever since I was a little kid. But this is definitely different. And then after that, okay, I noticed that my healing was extremely slowed. Okay, like let's say I'd cut my arm at work or something, and before it would probably take about a week to heal the cut, right? And now it takes about 3 weeks to heal a cut. And I fell off my daughter's skateboard a few months back, landed on my hands and my knee and my hip. Like it landed, like belly flopped on the ground, right? And the pain, like I had a scrape on my shoulder and on my hip and on my right knee, which took about 3 weeks to heal. And the scab that was on my shoulder kept ripping off. Like every single time I got it wet, it disintegrated like nothing. Like it turned back into liquid, which is very scary. Eventually I just realized, okay, I can't get this wet anymore, right? Like if I have a scab, I can't get it wet, or else it's just going to disintegrate. So that was another thing. And then the bones in my hand, the palms of my hand, right? Like the end of my wrist bone going in, in right there on both hands, right there. Hurt like shit anytime I put pressure on them, even just to pick up the smallest thing, like my cell phone. Okay, and I had to work through that for quite a while. Like it took about, I'd say 6 months before the pain stopped. So the healing factor after taking it is really bad, right? Ever since making all these, coming to these conclusions, right? I recently, like a few days ago, like 4 days ago, I realized, okay, well, if my body's not cooperating with me anymore, like it should, then I'm gonna have to go over and above to try and better my body, so I don't die, right? Pretty much. So I bought what do you call it? Like whey powder, right? Like weight gaining protein shake with like extra vitamins and minerals and stuff added to it. So I've been drinking that for like 4 days now, and I do feel a lot better, and looks like my flesh is like my muscle tissue is growing back to normal, right? Because I've had a weird amount of veins in my arm and hand seem to be just growing over and under each other, just underneath my skin. I can't confirm that 100% because I've always been skinny and you can always see my veins. It's only that after you mess with your body like I did that you start noticing little things a lot more often. So who knows, maybe they mess with my DNA in a way that they're trying to turn me and everybody else into reptilians, right? Or like snake-like people. Because I heard that there's snake venom in it, and if you remember in Ipeco too, when they're looking at the oil, it's literally the Antichrist's eye, the snake eye within the television, looking at it being created, right? So, you can jump to conclusions and say, well, this is the DNA of Satan, right? Or at least one of his kind, right? Now, if you've watched my channel for a while, you'll know that during the weirdness of my life, a few years back, I was told by a spirit to find the body of